Virtual Creative Factory in Colorado.
So, here's a kind of a wild question for you. What's the real difference between Leonardo da Vinci and an AI? It sounds a little strange, I know, but the answer tells us pretty much everything about the very heart of innovation. Today, we're going to dig into the minds behind some of history's greatest leaps forward, and we'll connect them to the AI revolution that's happening all around us, right now. Okay, let's really get into this. I mean, is innovation about seeing the world with fresh eyes? Is it some flash of insight that comes from a world inside your own head? Or is it about crunching just mountains and mountains of data? As we're about to see, the answer is, well, it's kind of all of the above. And we're going to start right here in our own time. Because, to really understand where we're all going, we first have to get a handle on the incredible tools we have today and how AI is fundamentally changing the entire game of invention. Just think for a second about the tools a modern innovator uses. They're not exactly sketchbooks or workshops anymore. They're intelligent systems. And these platforms don't just sit there holding information. No, they actively hunt for hidden patterns in these massive data sets. But the real magic? It's how they make all that complexity easy to use, letting just about anyone see connections that were pretty much invisible before. And listen, this isn't some far-off promise for the future. It is happening right now. A McKinsey survey actually found that 55% of executives are already making smarter, faster decisions, all thanks to AI. So what does that look like? Well, in healthcare, it means predicting when patients might miss appointments, which saves a ton of time and resources. In finance, it's about spotting market trends as they happen. This is the new reality of innovation, and it's all driven by data. Okay, so we've got this modern AI-driven model. You've got data analysis, intelligent automation, predictive outputs, but how does that stack up against the geniuses of the past? To fill in these blanks on the other side, let's jump in our time machine and meet two minds who invented the world as we know it, but in completely, totally different ways. First up, let's head way back to the High Renaissance and meet Leonardo da Vinci. This was an innovator whose entire laboratory was, well, the world itself. His breakthroughs didn't come from code. They came from pure, unfiltered observation. This quote right here, it says it all. For Leonardo, if you couldn't see it, touch it, or test it, it wasn't real knowledge. Experience wasn't just some teacher. He called it the mother of all certainty. And that philosophy, that idea, it drove every single thing he did. Just look at his drawings of water. I mean, these are not just beautiful sketches, they are rigorous scientific studies of turbulence. Leonardo was basically reverse engineering nature itself, filling thousands and thousands of pages with observations of everything from flowers to fossils, all to figure out the fundamental principles of how things worked. And of course, you have his famous flying machines. These weren't just whimsical daydreams. No way. They were the direct result of countless hours spent dissecting and sketching birds, analyzing every detail of their wings and the dynamics of flight. For Leonardo, art, anatomy, and engineering, they were all just part of the same big investigation. So when you break it down, Leonardo's method, for all its beauty and artistry, was actually a surprisingly strict scientific process. First, you observe. Then, you experiment. After that, analyze with math, and only then do you create. For him, true invention wasn't some random flash of inspiration. It was the final step in a long, hard investigation of reality. All right, now let's jump forward about 400 years to a completely different model of invention. If Leonardo's lab was the physical world around him, Nikola Tesla's was the vast, absolutely limitless space inside his own mind. I mean, just stop and think about how radical this is. Tesla claimed he didn't need prototypes or even sketches. He could literally invent, build, and even run incredibly complex machines, like an AC motor, entirely in his imagination. He'd even spot imbalances and make improvements before ever touching a single physical tool. It's just incredible. And his visions were absolutely massive. The legendary Wardenclyffe Tower was the real-world result of his dream for a world wireless system. This wasn't just some new device. It was a vision for a global network, and its architecture was perfected in that theater of the mind long before a single shovel hit the ground. And what's so fascinating is where this incredible ability came from. As a kid, Tesla actually suffered from seeing these uncontrollable, vivid images and flashes of light. He called it an affliction. But over time, he learned to control it, turning what could have been a debilitating weakness into his most profound inventive tool, a true blessing in disguise. And this mental method had world-changing results. In the famous War of Currents, you had Edison's trial-and-error approach with DC power going head-to-head with Tesla's fully visualized AC system. And the result? Well, Tesla's system was so much better it didn't just win. It literally electrified the entire modern world. So you've got Leonardo's external observation on one side and Tesla's internal visualization on the other. Two powerful but very, very different models of genius. So what happens when we introduce AI into the mix? Not just as an analyst, but as a creative partner in the process. One writer recently explored this very idea by imagining a story where Davinci and Tesla actually meet. But here's the twist. The author didn't write it alone. They co-created the entire symbolic narrative with an AI. Now, this isn't just data analysis anymore. This is a whole new level of collaborative creation. And this is really the dawn of what we're calling creative AI. The shift is subtle, but it's profound. AI moves from being just a data processor to being a genuine creative partner. So think of it less like a calculator and more like a muse, a tool that doesn't replace our imagination, but actually amplifies it, suggesting new pathways we might never have found on our own. Okay, so we've seen three wildly different approaches, right? Leonardo's empiricism, Tesla's visualization, and now this new AI-driven analysis and creation. And yet, if you look a little closer, you start to see these timeless principles that connect every single one of them. So what is the common thread? Well, for one, it's that unquenchable curiosity. Da Vinci watching a bird, Tesla chasing invisible forms of energy. It's the impulse to bridge different fields, mixing art with engineering. And maybe most of all, it's that relentless drive to build and then iterate, constantly improving the tools that shape our world, whether that tool is a paintbrush, a copper coil, or a line of code. And this brings us to a really crucial point. With great power comes great responsibility, right? From Leonardo's designs for war machines to Tesla's world-altering currents, and now to AI, every single major invention carries this profound ethical weight. Its ultimate legacy isn't defined by its genius, but by the wisdom of the people who wield it. So, as we stand here at this new dawn of invention, the question for all of us is this. Are we using AI, like Da Vinci's paintbrush, to better capture the world around us? Or are we using it like Tesla's coil to bring these incredible visions from our minds into reality? Or are we, together with these new tools, creating something the world has never, ever seen before? Now that's something to think about.